Hello, guys. Hi, welcome in everyone for our live stream. It's been a couple of weeks since we did our previous one. We have a couple of very interesting guests today that came in to talk to our community about what they're doing, about the industry in general. We have an investor here from China. His name is James, close to me on the screen, and we have Dafu, who is a partner of One Piece Labs Incubator. Hey, man. So we're my community already kind of knows about Dafu because we were part of One Piece Labs batch one and actually batch two. So, but I will still let you guys introduce yourself. Since we have James closer to me, we'll probably start with James. If you could please give us a little bit on your background, what you're working on right now, how long you've been in the Bay Area, and what are your, what is the reason here, and what are you looking for, man? So you can and give us a little intro on yourself, please.
Thanks, Raffle. Thanks for the invitation. So my name is James, and I'm from the website industry. So my fund is called Sunday Investment. We entered into this industry since 2013, and since then, we connected with the Bitcoin ecosystem a lot. And then later on, when Ethereum come in, you can see Vitalik, going around from Stanford and the Palo Alto district, and then it creates, his mention is creating a new, Bitcoin ecosystem. So enable everyone can create their own Bitcoin, and so then later on, this 2019 Uniswap come in, then we invest in Uniswap, and then later on, and then we get back to China. There's the fork industry like OEC, chain, and then a BSC, BS chain. So right now, our fund is dedicated into the Squirrel community. Squirrel is a layer two scaling system for helping Ethereum to scale their verification. So
Mhm.
thanks.
Thank you. That's from what you've been telling me. You've been in the Web3 space for quite a while now. Not only been and known different projects, but also invested in one of the biggest ones on a very early stages. So that's impressive, and I really like the name of the Sunday. It is kind of matching the Web3. I'd say mood. So that's a cool name. I like that. Duffo, if I can have you give a couple of words about yourself. I do know everything. I mean, a lot of things about Duffo. A great speaker, organized multiple events that I've been attending in the Bay Area, collecting a lot of people there from absolutely different projects, starting from protocols, games, to community building projects. So, Duffo, I'm not gonna talk a lot for you, so I'll let you introduce yourself, please.
Sure. Thank you, Raphael. For some reason, I cannot hear James talking, so I don't know why. But hi,
Uh,
everyone. My name is EAFU. I am from One Piece Lab. I'm one of the partners. So One Piece Lab was founded last year in Silicon Valley, and we have three arms: incubation, community, and investment. For incubation, we have successfully hosted two batches, and totally we got 33 projects. And Multicoin, Pantera, Figment, Coinbase, Kraken, they all came and supported us and share their experience and insights about Web3 industry. For communities, we have hosted different events, including hackathons, after parties, networking, meetups, panels, keynotes, all kinds of events. And we are very active in Silicon Valley. We host 8 to 12 different events per month. And luckily, we have Raphael joining us and helping us, providing all the support from his community. Thank you very much. And for
thank
investment, we work with a lot of big VC in the United States. We refer them deals, and they refer deals with us too. We have invested 30 plus different startups on Web3, and they are all pretty good. For me, actually, I got into Web3 industry back in 2015 from a garage cafe in the United States. And starting from 2017, my previous company, One Piece Work, started to host blockchain events in Bay Area. And we were the very first one doing that in the Silicon Valley. After 2018, I started to advise different startup on blockchain, and I think about 35 or 36 or something. So right now we are running this One Piece Labs. We hope to work with different ecosystem, different communities, and bring all the amazing Web3 startups to the next level. And thank you, Raphael, for all the help and the support from your community. You are amazing.
Thank you, Duffo. I really appreciate it. I think what me personally, and I think the community would be really interested in talking about today. One of the topics that we will cover. I think we're going to be, having this live stream for about an hour or so. But in the meantime, like one of the topics that I and the community would be really interested in is cover the investment topic. And uh, what specifically I want to talk about this is not really about the investments in the projects, but about the building your fund, because One Piece Labs is not only the incubator, but like you said, you guys are doing investments too, and it's an early company. So you founded it last year, right? Oh, actually 21, you said, correct? In
Last year.
2021. Last year. Okay, last year. So it's a fairly new fund, and you guys have been successful already. What is the path that you have to take, and what it takes in order to become a successful venture fund? And for our community, just so everybody knows, early stage venture fund and early company venture fund is basically like a startup as well. So you guys have to also raise money in order to invest. It's not that you're, putting your own money out of the pocket and investing your personal finances. So how does this process work? What things that kind of like blocked you from growing faster or slower? What give us a little bit, a couple of words on that experience of creating an opening and bootstrapping the venture capital fund.
That's a very good question. Frank speaking regarding VC investment, I would say in the United States, everything is about trust, about the credits. So to start a very good venture fund, I would say, firstly, you have to have some check record, like you work in some previous VC angels before, and you invested some companies, and you got check record in this industry. That is one thing very important. And however, if you really starting something like from the bottom, from zero, I would say it's always about network. So try to meet different VC, different investors, and network, meet up, hang out, talk to them, and refer them
Mm-hmm.
different deals, and make sure that all the deals you refer them are very qualified, high quality. So they
Right.
will like you. They will say, "Hey, this fund has something, right? They have some standard. They are like very close to us, and they should be very good." So they will work with you, and in the future, you will definitely build a very good record in this industry. And also, I would say deal flow, deal source is also very important for a starting VC because. When you started this investment from zero, you need to invest in something, right? And all the startups, they may never hear about you. You have to talk with them and make sure that you sign the very first check to some of the very good quality startups and help them grow. That is also very important because you need to bring all your resources to the startups. It is never about money only. It is about resources in this industry. So find a good startup and sign the very first check and build your check record and bring all your resources to make this startup grow very fast. I would say that these points are very important. And after that, I would say if possible, you can find some big LP or medium LP to back you up. Right now, one of our biggest LP is Sequoia, and together with some other family offices. For us, it's because we have been in this industry for long. So me personally, starting it for about 7 or 8 years, and my partners KJ. So he did quite a lot with our mother fund, which is called Up on His Capital. So he got his own check
Mhm.
record. And the other partner, Murray, he also worked in marketing industry for a long time. So we are all building. We have all bought our own resources and credits before in the United States. That is why we can raise some fund from these LPs, and people really trust us. I think these points should be very important to start with.
So from what you said, it seems like trust in the beginning stages, trust would be the most important thing, and then after you build that, then you have backed everything up by your portfolio companies, by how sure you are that those companies, that investments in those companies will bring success to the company. And also the following question on that. So as an early venture capital, if you have raised money from your LPs and stuff, it would sound more logical that you guys would most likely invest in not a very early stage startups, not a pre-seed stage, where companies are presenting their deck and they don't have a product or anything, but more on a higher level, like a seed stage and a Series A. That way, you already know that the product is there, the revenue's there, and the company's growing. Right? Is that how you guys are looking at it, or pre-seed stage is something that is considerable as well, for an early fund?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So for us, actually, our success is not that big because we are managing
Yeah.
very small fund, only $20 million. We cannot compare it with like a top tier A16Z, Multicoin, those kind of people. However, we focus on mainly the very early stage, which is the pre-seed. So we hope to grow
Okay.
with all the founders, make them fulfill their skills into their projects. Our success is mainly like 100K to $500,000 for each project, and for us, it is always about the people. So not about a business model. Of course, we definitely take care of that. We value on the tokenomics business model. However, the most important factor about a startup we invest is always about the people. Whether or not we have the same synergy. They are passionate about their projects and they have very good technology. They are looking for run for their projects, and they will be a game changer in Web3 industry. That is very important. So it's always about the people for early stage companies.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, 100% agree. There's a lot of startups that I've seen for the past year. I've been in San Francisco, in the Bay Area, that have starting to raise, and then just couldn't wait for long enough because of the situation in the industry. Today, it's not as easy to raise funds as it was like a year or two ago, or especially like the years like 2017 when everybody was raising on ICOs. So a lot of people are struggling to back themselves up before they actually fundraise. So 100% agree on that. James, wanted to ask you about your vision on this. What do you think, on what Dufu said about the investing in pre-seed stage? Like, would you say that knowing the founder and having a bond is as important or more important than even than the project? And also, if you can give us a couple of words on how were you able to get in those early stage deals for those pretty impressive companies today. How did that your
Um,
life led you to that?
okay. So my background is completely different than, what Dafu Eric, Eric is from the privileged, very great university from China and great, amazing private school in US. So when he started, he's already in that, level. So mine is different. So mine is I have to when I come to try to apply to US, I only have $10 in my pocket. So I'm really from nobody from the bankrupt in China. So I have to find some different ways. So I didn't when I in China, I didn't decided to go to university. So I started to apply USA since when I in college because I know my school, my path cannot go to very privileged, good school in US. So I think the path is very important. So that's my background. So I'm nobody. So if you are nobody, if you want to find good deal, right now it's similar to 2000. So if you are nobody, I am nobody. So you got to find the early industry. For example, blockchain. If you in 2013, you the big when Bitcoin is very cheap, and everybody think Bitcoin is a liar and this scam and this and that. So if you find
Yeah,
a way to what's the first principle, like in Silicon Valley everybody say first principle of Bitcoin, which is your money is privileged, so nobody can touch your money is your own money. If you deep believe
yeah,
in this, and you can see a lot of smart people from the valley to believe in this, and then you can dive in. And in 2017, when Ethereum come up, I think it's about the path. If you have an idea, if you go through the ICO path, you can raise easily to raise 10 to 20 million if you know the path, you know how this game work. So like Raffle, right? Your company, when you're in Silicon Valley trying to raise the money, so you find out the right people and right path, you can raise certain amount of money. So if you find a better path, you can raise even more. So it's about the path, what you said. So
yeah,
if you're nobody, you how to find the good deal. Twitter is the good place to go. So in Twitter, especially in Web3 industry, you can easily to DM, the founders or some new projects. You can talk to them. So before you talk to them, you gotta set up your framework of investment. So for example, in this industry, so the ecosystem is very important. For example, if Ethereum layer one has Ethereum, Phantom, FTM, Avalanche, and Solana, and this and that. But this is layer one. So the layer one story in 2000 and 2021, if you focus on layer one story, and you can, find a better deal. But right now, layer one story, I think is almost done because the scaling
mhm,
problem, right? The transaction, you only have 12, 15, transaction per second. It's very slow. So right now, Ethereum, the founder Vitalik said, "Oh, we're gonna scale it." So how to scale it? So layer two, right? Layer two have two sectors. One is called optimistic roll up, right? They have Arbitrum and Optimism. So, but they already issued their
mhm.
tokens already. So it's really hard to find early stage, projects there. So you gotta figure out
Yeah,
what's next, which is not issue their token and still have potential, which is CK rollup. So right now there's top four players, right? The first one is Starnet, and
mhm,
CKC, and third is Squirrel, and Polygon's CK event. So my focus is right now is on Squirrel because we think in Squirrel the ecosystem is not ready yet. So even in the ecosystem, they have 5 layers, right? The first layer is infrastructure, tooling, define, SocialFi, and GameFi. So if you set up your the way you find some good deals, so you will be easier to find those good deals. So right now we are in Scoro community, right? We are building the Scoro community, finding investor, finding developers, finding projects to launch on this, and then we can we can get a early investment opportunity. So that's my
yeah,
path.
yeah. I didn't even know that. That a lot of details that you mentioned about the background. That's impressive because I can kind of relate to it. The reason why is because when I came to the Bay Area, I came from a totally different industry as well. If you remember, I was telling you that I was and am a founder of another company that's doing home services. So that's a totally different industry, absolutely opposite to Web3. So I kind of like dove in Web3 space, and me and partners and the whole community, we kind of taught each other on how it works and what we need to do and what we need to build that is needed for the space. Because when we first originally started, I was looking at different projects, usually like early stage projects. I didn't really see what issues are being solved, whether it's an NFT project or a community like a DAO project or anything like that. I didn't see what they're actually like, where, how will their assets be backed, and what is backing them. So that was an issue that we ran into, and I didn't really understand like how these projects are raising and what it's all about. And then and then we came up what we came up with. So I think like I said, I am feeling that this is what you said is very relevant to what I've been through. We're just doing different things. You're on an investment side, I'm
Yeah.
on a building side. So, but
Yeah.
pretty similar.
Correct.
Thank you very much for sharing that. Duffo, I wanted to ask you one more question. Trying to remember when James were talking, I came up with it. Um, so when you guys are when the fund is raising from LPs or family offices and stuff, do you have to have a certain plan on how you guys will distribute that money, what the LPs are waiting for back? How long will it take to make the fund profitable, or you kind of like go with the flow on that, and you don't really give the time frames to people that are investing in the fund, if you don't mind sharing that.
Yeah, definitely. For raising money from an LP, you need to have these kind of information, and I would say it is just like a startup raising money. That's quite similar. So we have to have some referral or trust based on that, and people like friends may introduce you a big LP, and you need to talk with them, and you will also need to pitch to them with a pitch deck or some basic information you have or all the resources you have. For us, because we have been in this industry for long, and we know all the OGs and the big players and all the big projects, and of course we have been investing in Web2 startup for a long time. So all the LP believe that we have a good chance to invest the top projects and becoming the next Web3 unicorns. And I would say it is quite similar to like a startup raising money from a VC, for quite similar to investment raising money from LP. I would say it is quite like that. You need to tell
Okay,
them like
okay.
how you money, and what's your plan, what kind of projects you focus on, what's your criteria on these startups, and
Mm.
like you said, how much return they can get, estimated values, of course, right?
Yeah, no, totally makes sense, because if somebody is investing in you, no matter what you are doing, they're looking for the ways to get their money back and earn something. So definitely makes sense. Duffo, also a question to you before, and then I will have James answer it as well, because I want to see both of your guys' opinions on it. Currently, for the past, I would say starting from maybe like February or May of last year, and that was about the time when I came here with my partners to the Bay Area. We started to see the tendency that obviously the investment, the process of investment and the amount of investments done to the startups definitely decreased because of multiple reasons. We had a crash of FTX. That's when the market dropped, and then before that, it went down a lot. And obviously, it does affect the assets of investors because some of them have their assets in digital currencies and not necessarily in the bank, right? So the amounts that investors are investing today is a lot smaller, and usually the companies that are being invested in are less on a pre-seed stage and more on a higher stages. What do you think? Well, I do understand the reasons, and I do understand that it's going to switch real quick once the market is improving right now. Probably starting next year or so. But when and why do you think we will have the next flow of investments in Bay Area and overall in in U.S. and Europe, and what it will take? Like, why would that start happening? Your opinion on that?
Yeah, so actually, starting from last year, like you said, all the investment become very slow. We got the Luna issue, we got the FTX, and right now we have the SVB Bank. So I would say it's mostly like a chain effect, and all the VC they have deposit their money in different banks or different exchanges. However, right now we have central banks, centralized banks crashed. We have centralized exchanges crashed. So I would say most of the big VCs were hugely affected. And however, like you can see, so in Silicon Valley, there are still some big money went to go into the big projects like billions of dollars. But
Mhm.
that is mainly focusing on the infra. So in Silicon Valley, all the big VC put the infrastructure as priority because they believe in the technology to uh, make some real revolution. So they still invest a lot of big projects, but mainly I would say late stages, like you said. And for us or smaller or medium fund like us, we try to slow down because right now it is bear market. Everything is becoming very slow. However, different VC may have different perspective. One VC I talked with the last year, they said, "Why are you guys slowing down right now?" So we are trying to make it faster because right now it is bear market. All the valuations are pretty pretty lower than before. So they try
But
to
it's more risk.
invest more. Oh, what?
No, I said yes. The valuations are a lot lower, but at the same time, it's there's a lot more risk that you're taking on the investment because yes, if the project succeeds, the valuation is going to go up quite high, and you will get a better margin. But at the same time, there are so many projects on a very early stages with low valuations that it's easy to get lost there and buy something that you might regret in the future.
Definitely, definitely. That always happen. That is why it is called a venture, venture, right? So it is always about risks and the return. So my friend said he is from another VC. He said right now all the valuations are very slow, very low, and he wants to invest more startup during the bear market. That is something very interesting. And for us, actually, like you said, all the startup, I would say they have some risk or some uncertainties. When you invest in a startup, you can never know how good it can become. So it is always based on our current understanding of this industry. For us, actually, all the startups we invest, like I mentioned before, we believe in these people, and they might be a serial entrepreneur. They might have a very strong background and they might have some very deep understanding about the technology or this industry. So if we invest in these people and we can help them form a very good team. So with these people and we give them some directions and other resources, including coin listing and some other fundraising opportunities and strategies on communities, different stuff. And if with these stuff, I would say we are still not sure if they can be successful, very successful for the next bull market. However, we just try our best and they try their best. Hopefully, they can have a better chance than the other startups, I would say.
Yeah, no, definitely. James, you got a word on this? Your opinion on what you're thinking on this topic?
I think actually this is a silent war. So in the financial industry is a silent war. So let's get back to Web two, right? You can see the Web two investment is getting less and less, right? So and
Yeah.
they moved to Web three. What's the difference between Web two and Web three? What I think is Web two is more focused on the products. So product side, you have to create good products. You can really solve the problems. But what I think is Web three for now is not really about the product yet. It's about the narrative. Do you have a
Yeah.
good narrative? So the reason why the VC they invest less first is the period, right? 90% of the tokens, they go 99 of the token they drop down more than 90% of the price. The reason why, because in this period, so they are all application. So their story is already finished. There's no story. So what
Hmm.
the VCs can invest is about the infrastructure because they are trying to invest in new story. They don't know what's going on. Nobody knows. So
Yeah.
they can only bet on something new narrative. Only the new narrative can attract more money inside this market. That's what the US Wall Street always talk about. They talk about the space. They talk about electricity car. They have to talk about the new things. Only new things can attract money. So even though you cannot
Hmm.
see the money in the market, but all the rich people, they have their money in their pocket because they know how this game work. So if you
Yeah.
are, you know, investor, you will see, only the layer, application layer, but they see the new narrative, they see the new story because they only invest in the new story. So if you cannot understand how this game work, how this new industry work, then you will easy to lose money because you invest in product. You invest into the Web3, standard, not the Web3 standard. So in the Web3, all about stories, narrative. So when the you always say, when the narrative, when your product is out, your narrative will go down, so your price will go down. So you only buy when the narrative is high, when there's new story.
Yeah.
When they launch the product, you gotta sell it. So this is for now,
Right.
but maybe later on it will change. But for now, this is how the
That.
financial market works.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for your opinion, Duffel. Another thing, another question. So, what was I gonna say? You mentioned you kind of covered the topic about how you guys are helping companies with not only the investment but also with like listings and token launches and and stuff like that. That's like I would say this is a huge part of the fundraising as well, especially if you're helping projects that you are participating. I mean, you're cooperating with, investing in. I have quite a lot of individuals from our community, from Grand Time community, always asking about when are we going to list our token on exchanges, when are we going to have our pre-sale, and I just answer this question by saying that now not the best time to do that. Just because of what we're seeing in the industry, and because we're not backed by the yet. Okay, so you gotta have some kind of a backup and a 100% understanding of the path of listing, and gotta have a strong team of market makers. I mean, there's a lot that is involved in this process in order for it to be successful. So would you say that this is, as an investor, from the perspective of investor, would you say that this is the right strategy that I am keeping for, specifically for my project, or there is something that I'm missing? Because almost on every live stream, we do have some people asking about when are we going to launch. I understand, that usually the people that are asking about that are waiting for, for the sale of their assets that they're currently holding, which is understandable. Okay, it's a community. Different people are doing, different tasks, spending their own time, and earning tokens for that. So obviously, they are waiting for some kind of a return on that. but would you support me on the time of making a decision to do a pre-sale and the listing? What's your opinion here?
Yeah, so I will say it is pretty hard to launch tokens, in this year because it is bear market. You have seen so many big projects, even like Aptos, when they launch their tokens, they listed their tokens. You can see the prices like this, right? And
Yeah.
but they like one of the biggest projects recent years, right?
Hmm.
So say right now, I will suggest not listing tokens because. Firstly, it's bear market. There are not so many people trading actually, and secondly, before launching your token or listing your token on exchanges, you need to have a, how can I say this? You need to make more noises and build a bigger and more active community. I think Grand Time right now, the Grand Time community is already big and also very active. However, I will say you can try more and make more noise on the market and try to work with more incubators or VCs or projects to let everyone know about Grand Time. That is very important. And thirdly, I would say for all the contributors, don't worry and don't rush it too much because I know that everyone has their own contributions and they work with Grand Time because they believe in this culture. They can have more connections with Web3 people in this community. And however, also, they can make some money because they can get runtime token, but don't rush it because you don't want to have some runtime token and when it's listed on exchanges and it will go down, it will crash because the bear market, right? And then it is worth of nothing. So I would say try to wait until the next bull market. Yeah, definitely do not launch tokens this year. However, people might ask that for recently, you can see a lot of tokens like AI Dodge, PayPay, those kind of tokens listed on exchanges, different exchanges, and they went rocket high, right? So that is quite different because some projects were started by directly by the community, and there are a lot of community and investment backing them up. So they are already there, and that is mainly, especially for bear market, is um, uh, some of the project that can succeed sometimes is only meme market, right? Meme startups, and you can
Hmm.
see after pay there are hundreds of similar projects over there, and they all is in exchange. However, only one or two can succeed. One or two can make their price really high. So that is quite different. However, your community, I believe, is a little bit different because all the people are very solid and we really contribute to this community. Together, we believe that we can do something bigger. So don't rush it. Wait until the next bull market and try to collect more resources, talk to more people and make more noises on the market. Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely support. I basically have the same opinion on this, and you're not the first person that tells me that as an investor. Without having a not just active, I would say the activeness of the community is one part of the success story here, and another part is the size of the community because exchange has to be interested in listing you because exchanges make their money on transactions, and if they see that your community is active but you only have 100 people, 100 active people, it would be not as appealing as that if you have a couple of 100,000 active people for them in order to get you on their exchange. So there is a lot of things that yeah, that has to be considered. It's not all about the money. It's not all about listing. Any exchange really can have you listed if you pay a certain amount of money, and it's all like open source information. So it's not that I that we cannot do it and we're just postponing the listing. It's about us being ready and feeling that we're ready to do that before we actually do. Because I've seen dozens of projects listing in the bear market now. Yes, some of them succeeded, but like you said, they usually have a very good backup, not only with the community but also with a venture backup. And the second thing is that they've been on market for a certain period of time. They have a very strong team that just takes care of the pre-sales and listings. And in order for us not to get out there and fail and basically destroy our own token, with what we have today and what we're working with, I would definitely wait for a little longer in order to succeed and get better once we list there. James, would you agree on that, or you have something else that you want to add on the listing topic?
Yeah, sorry,
Um,
before James. Yeah, actually, I cannot
Yeah,
hear James talking it anyway. So, so I want to add one more point only for the Grand Time
yeah.
members because, like I said, it's always about the people when we invest in startups projects. So, we all love Raphael, and he did a great job on building the community. But right now, it is still not the right time. It's not about the current grand time or something. It's just the background of this bear market. So do not lose faith. Still try to contribute and vote more in this community because eventually you will definitely get something you really deserve. So follow the right leader and keep contributing in this community, and you will eventually be there. And so make a lot of money and contribute a lot to this community and become a Web3 OG, I would say. So keep fighting.
Thanks, Duff. Words, man. Appreciate it.
yeah.
Yes, James. Back to
Um,
you on yeah.
I think so. Right now, you can say that right now for launching token, for example, right now the K of, if you want to consider this is a K, the cake of this is very small. So you can, if for example, it's hard to share all the case with the community. So in this market right now, not many people can eat this cake because even though launch the token, so you gotta build community is you can consider right now if you launch token, it's going public, right? So right now everybody got a share of this company, so you gotta be a shareholder. So that's why Raffle, keep hosting this meeting and then organizing, the community because this is the whole unit. We use this whole unit to create a bigger cake. Once we have bigger cake, we can share. You can share this cake with more people, right? So in terms of the listing, this is since 2000 last bull market, the OG, what we call it old guy, the people who in this industry, they are experienced, they will not spend money on listing on exchange. Because listing on
Hmm.
exchange, who will pay the price? Who will pay for it? Is the community. At the end of the day, it's the community pay for the listing. So it's not smart to spend the money on listing on exchange anymore, especially on the centralized exchange. So once you build bigger tractions, more people, more community, the exchange will list the token for free. So you don't have to pay $400,000, $500,000 to list it on exchange. Why not spending this money to build a bigger community? So um, this is the game change. It's not like a 2018, 17, because when you list in on
Yeah.
exchange, there's a lot of liquidity circulation on in the market because not so many tokens. But right now there's so many tokens right now. If you're not into the game, you don't know how to play. You spend lots of money on listing exchange. It then community pay the price once listed on exchange. Exchange, there are more more people from OG. They will just come and earn your money. So
The-
don't do that. You gotta
yeah.
build up the community first, and then built into the right directions. So this is what Raffle
I
is doing it every week.
I agree,
So I think
and
I
I appreciate you guys, backing my words here because I usually have most of the time I have live streams. I do live streams by myself, and there are people that are, like I said, constantly asking same questions on this topic. So while I have you guys here on the stream today, I really appreciate you answering this question. I would say identically to what I usually tell the community. So that's just a proof that people, both of you guys are in the Bay Area. That's basically like the capital of investments. I could say worldwide, like one of the top places. And so your word means a lot. And it is very similar to what I'm saying. And I always keep saying that we are a long term project. And yes, we're not the fastest ones. No, yes, we didn't open 2 months ago, built the project within 2 months, launched our token, everybody made money. It used to be, it could have happened a couple of years ago, not today. If we're taking this path, it's either somebody's going to lose everything that they invested or the project is going to go sky high. With the amount of active users and the size of the community, even though we're growing fast, we're going, in our fast times, we're growing up to, I'd say, about 25% on a weekly basis. Then during the bear market, we slowed down a little bit, but still, I wouldn't say that this amount of users that we currently have is enough for a successful launch. So totally agree with you, James. Instead of spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on listings and hiring teams for boosting your token and hyping, it's better to spend the same amount of money or even less for building the very strong and build community. And this is what we're planning to do now, and this is what we're working on right now. So I really appreciate you guys' opinions on that. That helped a lot. Okay, so we've been on this stream for almost an hour. So I think we're going to be, if you guys have any other things that you would want to share with the community, please, feel free to do so. Otherwise, we're going to be wrapping up once you're done. So let me know if you guys have
okay.
anything else that you would like to share.
I would like to share is so right now I'm so the next we gotta see what's the next trend, right? So that's why so many people in the valley is talking about AI. Everybody is AI right now. So have to AI plus Web3. So right. So
Yeah.
and because this is the trend, this is where the money flows. But this is in a bigger picture. But if you dive more vertically, speaking, um, this is too broad. So in the Web3 industry, you got to focus on the ecosystem. For example, right now, if we launch on Ethereum, it's good, but it's already so many competitors in Ethereum. So maybe think about
Mhm.
it, launching the token, launching the project on Scroll, ecosystem or on SCI, say, ecosystem or linear ecosystem or another layer two ecosystem. Because there are two reasons. The first reason is scaling. So when the transaction, when every transaction they exchange, so they will have higher TPS, so transaction per seconds, right? Each transaction is not in Ethereum, it's 12 second, 12 transaction, but in scaling maybe 100 or 120 or few hundred. So this is the first reason, scaling. Second is the privacy. So right now, SEC trying to chase everybody, on chain, right? Because they want to tax people. So
Yeah.
especially for the U.S. citizen or European, people, they got to do KYC. But the CK roll up, which is they will try to protect all the users, right? Hide their not hide their information. They're protecting their asset, protecting their numbers. So nobody, not many people can see what's going on this transaction. So
Yeah.
based on these two reasons, more new money will come into this industry. So that's why it would be great to become the first on this kind of ecosystem no matter it's
Right.
scroll or linear or something. Yeah, and then users, people who from this industry, they can see this is a trend, they will dive into it. More family,
Hmm.
that's what we call family, right? Because more grand time family will join grand time because they only see maybe there are only 100 projects in this layer two at the beginning. Grand time is one of them. They can only pick maybe 100. They pick one of them. So that will be have
Yeah.
higher chances to win in this industry. Once into this ecosystem, if you talk to investors, it's investor also would like to put the money in because the people is here, the trend is here, the story, the narrative is here, so it will be better. So if you are part of the community, do some research on Scroll, and then give the report to Raffle, and then to talk together, to share together, to discuss together. That will grow the market because one brain. That's why Web3. Web3 is distributed, it's decentralized. One brain is not big enough, so you got to organize all the brain together, to work together. This is the
Yeah.
beauty of
Yeah.
Web3 industry.
I this is not the first time when we cover the topic of scroll. Tomorrow we have a meeting with I have a meeting with my admins of the community, and we usually have bi-weekly meetings every Thursday, and we discuss some things as a community together and vote on things. So I think raising a topic of of building on scroll would be something that we're definitely going to cover tomorrow and see what we think of that as a community. And I think I would want to probably get back to you on that and see maybe there is a kind of collab that can be done or something like that. So we'll see. But I am definitely open for new paths and something that's trending right now because you gotta go with the flow, right? Do everything that it takes to succeed and not be stubborn. So this is what we're trying to do here. Okay.
Yep. If you already driving a car, why do you still ride a bicycle? I know you can ride a bicycle for fun, but you don't ride a bicycle to work. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, definitely. Dafu,
Yeah.
you
Do we
waiting
have
for
any
your
record?
kind words.
Yeah. Do we have any recording after this? Because I cannot hear James. I really want to learn about his insights and sharing. Yeah.
Definitely, definitely. We're going to have a recording. We're going to upload it on both YouTube and Facebook, I believe. So I'll send you guys links.
Nice, nice, thanks. And for the last part, I'd like to add several things. Firstly, I don't know what are the audience roles right now. Like if you're builders, you are investors, or if you are community contributors, I don't know. But I'd like to give some advices for those founders and co-founders for startups. If you start a new project, like I said, try to build the right team, and secondly, go out. Always go out, hang out, network with different projects, different VC to learn about their feedbacks, how you can improve your projects, and thirdly, try to find the right directions. Okay, there are so many hot topics right now. It's like a ZK, AA, AI, different stuff. So, sorry, try to find your specialty, your team specialty. And next thing is that always bond with your community. So do not just focus on the product yourself. I would say Web3 industry is quite different from Web2. Sometimes it is more of a community-driven project. So try to bond with your community. Do not get too far from it. And also, one important advice I want to give to the founders and co-founders who are raising money: when you talk to a VC, they might have different feedbacks. They might be interested. They might sign the check right away, or they might say, "Hey, I like to keep in touch," or they say, "I will pass." So no matter for each whichever situation, I would say always keep in touch with the investors. Like you need to, even though sometimes they said no already. However, I would say keep updating your project with them. Like give them weekly updates about your project. Hey, we have reached our MVP. We have launched our software somewhere, and our community have a has reached 100 people or 500 people or 1,000 people, or anything about your projects. Make sure that you give them updates all the time, like maybe weekly and monthly. And even for those investors who say no at the first, however, for the long run, maybe after 3 months or 4 months, you keep updating them about your project. They will say, "Hey, these are very serious founders, and I can see their growth. I can see they're really working on their projects, and their progress is very interesting." So that might be a chance that they will come back to you and say, "Hey, I would like to invest in you." So do not
Yeah,
say
kind of
abs.
follow-ups
They,
and
yeah, always catch up with your investor. I would say, yeah, that's my
gotcha. Yeah,
suggestions.
no, definitely. Sometimes it's tough, when you have, yeah, I'd say like 90% of startups that I've spoken with or I've met that raised usually said that, they've had over 50, over 100 pitches that they've made before they raise something, thousands of follow-ups. So it's an average process, and you got to be very confident in yourself, and I think I am, and our community is, in what we're doing. So a lot of times when as a startup, you shouldn't consider those words as a no, no. That's a no today, right now. But then if you keep
Definitely.
feeding the investor with information, and that this information is backed by your actions and your attitude and your proof of growth and development, it can definitely change the mind of any person. So I definitely agree with you on that. James, you were about to add something or no?
Um, so
Kind of covered everything.
community. Yeah, you cover everything. So one last thing is so since this is community talk, right? So um, don't one last thing I think is pretty interesting, right? So don't ask what the project can do for you. Ask what you can do for the project. Try to because this is decentralized. So I think so there are so many developers. The developers maybe can also contribute some of the ideas into the new things. For example, how to use NFT to integrate it in this projects, how to use Ordinal. Right now, everybody is talking about BRC20, right? How do we use some cool thing, like BRC20 to help this project, right? Because this is the trend. And also, how do we use CyberConnect? How to use the social network like a token galaxy, right? Galaxy. So how to integrate all this new technology inside this projects to make it great. So and how to especially I am from Scroll community, right? No, I'm not from the official, so I'm in the community as well. So this is decentralized.
Right.
So I will reach different community to share. So if you are part of this grand community, so you can become a community to reach out to certain other projects to share, talk, and
Right.
then discuss, and then to connect raffle with that project because you think it will be good.
Well,
The cost of
we have
connecting.
multiple people that Yeah, I was going to say we have multiple people doing that right now. We had a lot of representatives in Nigeria and Ghana and African countries going to Web3 conferences, talking about us. We're also creating different events. So definitely working on that. And I'm going to tell you, it does help. When people are, like, let's say, from different regions and different countries, they express their feelings and understanding of the project to their people and the mentality. It's a lot better than if you pay buy paid advertising on social media and try to do it yourself. Person to person connection is definitely better and faster. So yes, agree on that.
Correct. Yeah. one last thing, try to do something on Twitter, for example, Twitter Space, because on here,
Let's
this
do
is
it.
very close, community, because only your community can listen. But if we are on Twitter
Yeah.
Space, everybody can join, so everybody can listen. So try to make it open to more people.
Let's
Good.
make a deal and create a Twitter space together next time. Maybe in a week or two,
Yeah,
schedule
sounds good.
another date. I'd be more than happy to do so. Okay, guys.
Sounds good. Yeah. Thanks.
All right. Perfect. Perfect. Thank you guys so much for joining in today, for sharing your experience, your opinions on the different topics in the Web3. We will have a recording of this stream. I will share it with you through via link for both YouTube and Facebook. And if you guys if you guys want to, you can go ahead and share it on your social medias as well. And we will do so too and tag you on ours. So can't wait for the next Twitter space that we'll do together. And thank you again for joining in. We'll see you guys later. And thank you for from the community as well. We usually have questions that people ask. Right now, I'm not in front of, so I don't have the Telegram chat in front of me. So what I will do is I will get him back in the chat and answer those questions after the stream is complete. So thank you again, and we'll see you guys soon.
Thank you,
Bye.
Raphael.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Gwen. Time working with you soon. Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you.